Everybody got their eye on the prize, wants to know what it's like to be on top of the world. They think it's all money and fame, it's just a game. But it's more than denim and pearls, it's a real man's world, and I ain't lying. You grip tighter and you get a deep sea, turn out your feet, get your hooks in and let it go. Feel the power straight out the gate, but it ain't too late. Roll your hips, son, get back in the flow. 8 seconds is a long damn time. It's more than the shine in the buckle, broken hearts, busted knuckles. Better know you gotta hustle when you're sifting through the rubble to find your soul's on the line and you're running behind. It's more than the shine.
And that's why they call me bad company. I won't deny. Bad company till the day I die. Bad company. I won't deny. Bad company.
Oh, good morning, I'm Wayne Campbell.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Wayne Campbell.
And I'm Sheila Campbell.
And this is your morning drive with the driver's side. I obviously threw her off already. She's, huh?
Yeah,
Good morning. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. I'm on location. Oh, she doesn't even bother. Hello? Wrong way. Oh, God. It's just bad. It's all bad. Oh, it's all bad. Let me go to people that care, like Blank Ship Dale, like Dennis Hicks, like my man Flowrider. Get it, Becky, beautiful Underwood, John and his beautiful family Hall, and my amigo himself, Mr. Phil Tristan, Keith Becca, Justin Perrance, Charles Bundy, and his beautiful daughter following up right behind him, Kayla. Good morning, everybody. It is Throwback Thursday here on the driver's side. It is a beautiful morning. I'm grateful to be alive. I have my liberal tears. Thank you, honey. My cup of liberal tears is nice and full. MAGA Claw, Trump 2020. We're not here for politics. My bad. Wrong show. Good morning, honey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. David Belo just dropped in. Shelly Conway's here. We got a lot this morning, don't we? What's going on? It's Throwback Thursday. I'm on location. I believe we should have there's a RGN back there. There's a heavy haul trailer already preloaded, ready to be picked up this morning by a young man that hopefully it should be here soon. And I think this is him pulling in now, actually. I'm going to go, yes. We got a 97 Pete pulling in. All right, let's take it. This thing is absolutely, or maybe not. I don't know. It's stopping over there. But I do know one thing. The only thing up right now are truck drivers, like people like Mike Shetfield. And since Mike Shetfield's here, guys, I know that Daryl Martin has bought a CD of Mike Shetfield's. Mike Shetfield's CDs are still for sale, and you can find him over on YouTube for Mike Shetfield's music. And we'll be right back with after Mike Shetfield. And that's Mike Shetfield, and you see it. Yes, that is a 97 Pete pulling in right now. There you go. If nobody caught it, actually, there is a video that is of his. I don't think I have it. But Sheila, what do you got this morning for us as this gentleman gets in?
Yeah, before we get into it, as far as it is Throwback Thursday, guys, and it is part 2. Last week we did on the CB, which is going to relate to the speed limit. okay, of how the speed limit came about and when it went into law. And they're going to coincide. So we're going to do a little bit later, we're going to do a recap on the CBs and how it links in with the speed limit. So that's for Throwback Thursday, which is part 2 today.
Oh, that's cool. Cool.
Yeah, we've got we don't know yet. Shelly with Trucks with Room to Spare. She is
having issues. She is having issues with her link.
Okay.
Okay, so you know, she is having issues with her link, Sheila. So, Shelly Conway, if you have to call in, call in. But if you can't get that handled right now, Sheila, because unfortunately we don't have a team to work that out. So I'm seeing in the comments that she's having trouble with her link.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not really quite sure as far as what's going on with that. But anyways, with that, we're going to get right into, we're going to do the weather because Hurricane Delta is expected to make landfall early Friday morning. Okay. So there's going to be,
which is not good.
No, extreme weather. And it looks like Louisiana is going to be basically the epicenter of it. Okay. Although you're going to have repercussions of this all the way from tonight, Thursday night, until it makes landfall, all the way from the Houston, Galveston area, Louisiana, and southern Mississippi. There's a hurricane warning, okay? So all those areas are down in that coastal area are going to be affected. With significant flooding is also likely from the central Gulf Coast to the lower Mississippi Valley. As Delta moves further inland, heavy rainfall will develop in the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. So guys, just as you see down there in the tickers, if you have to be going in these areas between today and tomorrow, please stay tuned to your weather advisories and find out what's going on. Because as we know, when these hurricanes vamp up, the winds and all of the surges and everything really get going. And it's very, very dangerous. So if you can,
pay attention, guys.
Areas.
All right, Sheila, is anybody else having feedback? Because I'm having feedback while you're talking, so I'm hoping nobody else does. If so, comment, guys. We're on a delay, so we're not going to sit and wait for that comment. We're going to keep pushing through. So I don't know what the deal is with Shelly. I don't know where to go from here right now, Sheila. Because you've got weather. I got a driver behind me. He's loading up. I haven't talked to him yet. So are you able to cover while I go touch base with this driver?
Yeah, I'm going to get into the trucking news.
Okay, let's get into that, and then I'll be back most likely with this young man, Tim.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, you guys. So we're gonna
real quick. I'm gonna pull out Sheila. I'm gonna pull myself. I'm gonna pull myself out. So when you see me come back, put me back in. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. And that's how it is sometimes, guys. We're not always together. Anyways, in our trucking news, guys, I always stress seriously that I am so thankful when we finally get to Free Flow Feel Good Friday as far as all the good news in there, because there's really not a whole lot of good news that's going on within the trucking industry these days. But in the trucking news, this out of Transportation Nation, Wiley Deck, acting administrator of the FMCSA, responds to a recent warning by the FBI about the vulnerabilities of the ELDs, right? Like we didn't see this coming, right? So the FBI warning states, although the ELD mandate seeks to provide safety and efficiency, it does not contain a cybersecurity requirements for manufacturers or suppliers of ELDs, and there is no requirements for third-party validation or testing prior to the ELD self-certification process. FBI warns that once a cyber criminal gains access, he can install malware such as ransomware to prevent the ELD, the vehicle, or the connected telematics services such as dispatching or shipment tracking from operating until the ransom is paid. So Wiley Deck said he is unaware of any successful hacking attempts thus far. And he further goes on to say, we have not had any reports of any of these issues affecting any of our vendors, nor any drivers or motor carriers. I would welcome that if somebody has heard instances of this being an issue, to please let us know, because we will be very active in investigating that. Deck sought to reassure drivers and carriers that ELDs are more secure than smartphones or computers. Okay, well, yeah, maybe so, but really? Ransomware? I don't know. I mean, if someone sent me a thing telling me as far as a ransomware, that's just myself. Ransomware, whether or not my load was going to be delivered, I don't know. I don't think I would pay that ransom. I would probably just be like, yeah, come take it, whatever you want. But that's just me. So obviously there's problems. I'm going to bring Wayne back in. Hold on. Here we go. I'm coming, babe.
Thank you, baby. How are you? Yeah, ransomware, right? Oh, God, here we go with the crap, right? More e-log crap? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I don't think he has that problem.
No. Well, hello.
Oh, yeah, look at that, huh?
Hi there, beautiful.
Right? Yeah. I'm trying, guys. Hold on. Let me. I'm trying it. Look at that. It's not doing any justice right now. There's the driver right there. That's Tim. His name's Tim. He's here picking up a load. What year's your truck, Tim?
It's 97.
97?
97 Peterbilt 379.
I just walked up on this dude. I caught him yesterday. I caught you yesterday. Your video did very well. And the reason why this guy stood out to me is that flag. And that flag over there. I saw him coming off the freeway yesterday, and I had to run to the middle of the medium. Did you see me out there yesterday in the middle of that medium?
I did, yeah.
and I put him to Freebird because he was freely flying those flags. How has it been flying those flags?
It's actually been, I get more thumbs up than anything.
More thumbs up than anything. How do you feel about today's truck? How old are you?
I'm actually 36.
30? Oh, wow. Trucking hasn't been hard on him, obviously. What the hell? Well, are you second gen?
No.
First gen?
Yep.
Holy shit, that's the problem. It hasn't reached the DNA yet. It's in the blood. It's going towards the DNA. How do you feel about today's industry?
Today's industry, I actually think it's not too bad. I mean, I've had worse.
He's had worse. Do you have an e-log?
I run paper e-logs.
He runs paper e-log. You have paper computers? He runs paper log. Remember, I just walked up on this guy. So you're a heavy hauler.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you local?
Yes.
Out of Oregon? How did you get to where you are today? Because you got a beautiful truck. I'm sorry, you got a beautiful truck. Is this your trailer?
It is.
Oh God, he's got a very expensive trailer. So
to be honest, how I got here was my wife.
Your wife.
Yeah.
That's mine right there. That's mine right there. Oh God, it takes a strong woman.
It does take a strong woman.
I'm not going to hold you up. What year's your truck? What do you got under the hood? And what's your favorite thing about your truck?
Well, everything about this truck is favorite to me. When we bought this truck, it was it was spray painted blue and white. It didn't look anything like it looks today. As you know, it's a 97 Peterbilt 379. It's got the Cummins N14 Select Plus in it, 5 1/4.
Here he goes talking shit that I don't know.
A lot of torque. A lot of torque. Right now, we're running right at around 150,000 pounds.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Wow. And we're headed to Roseburg.
Roseburg, where my mother-in-law lives. I actually got my first license in Roseburg. Yeah. Tim, I want to say thank you. I'm not going to hold you up. I will, the driver's side on Facebook, okay? All right, that's where you can find us. It's real simple. You sit in that seat every day. I don't have any cards on me like an idiot. But I rode my bike all the way out here this morning. I'm staying at the church. And I wanted to catch you leaving just in the midst of being the heartbeat of America.
Gotcha.
You're the best thing. You're the most important thing to us. And we know that on the driver's side. And that's why I came out today. It's a highlight. It's Throwback Thursday. An old school driver with an old school truck. Flying flags like a true-blooded American.
That's right.
I cannot thank you enough. You're the heartbeat of America, and you should be treated that way, Tim. Have a great day, brother.
Hey, thank you, brother.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Bye, Tim. Get it, driver.
Nice.
Get it. And that's right. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
That's all I want from drivers. I just want a few minutes of your time. Is that right there? Made my day. I couldn't sleep last night. I knew I was going to be here. I rode the bike all the way down here because my brother's not getting up this early with all the things that have happened to our family with the fires. And and with us and all that. I'm not hiding in Oregon. I'm helping in Oregon, and I'm seeking out people like that dude right there. Literally saw him getting off a freeway, off I-5 yesterday, and I said, I'm going to go find him. He's getting off here in this area for a reason, and I found him, and I'm so glad that I did, because he was willing, and that's the beauty of old school trucking. A driver, a good professional driver will take their time out, talk to you, and be proud to do it like Tim was. And he's proud not just to do that, but he's proud of his ride. And I had to get that in. I'm sorry to interrupt your news. But I thought it's why we're here.
You know what? It actually leads into basically kind of what my next little part of the news was, because he's got those flags flying, right? And so, he said that he's gotten a pretty good response and the thumbs up for it. But flying those flags has not necessarily been a good
worked
thing.
Out that well.
Right. Well, apparently there was, I have a story on this. I wasn't prepared just exactly for that right at that very second.
Okay, so well, before you get to that, what about Shelly? What about the weather? Are we good there?
I haven't, if she's having problems on that, I haven't seen anything on that, babe.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, push forward. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. Because I know I broke in the middle of that, and I don't want to lose the flow of the show. I apologize for interrupting. We
have to remember, though, that there's not all drivers that are necessarily Trump supporters. And apparently there was a Ford F-150 that was at a Trump rally parade and flying the flags. And
yes, and it got pelted.
No, well, what happened is that a semi driver, they got in some like road rage thing on the freeway, and basically the F-150. So the semi driver was not happy about it, and they were going back and forth antagonizing. The truck driver flipped him off because he wasn't happy about the Trump flags and not a Trump supporter. So they get in this altercation. Well, the driver in the F-150 pulls out a gun and shoots at the semi truck driver.
Oh, yeah. Whoa!
Right.
Wow! Wow! Be sure I clean I'll make sure I keep my language clean. Good morning, Linda McPherson. How are you, ma'am? I want to just take the time out because
obviously shaken up and stuff, but everyone is fine with that. And the driver who did the shooting, who was in the F-150, eventually ended up turning himself in for it, because obviously the driver, because that's unnecessary. Whether you are or you're not, whatever your political opinions are, I mean,
it's gone too far. I feel like and not to interrupt you, I think it's gone too far. Okay, it's gone too far. When I was a kid growing up, like I said, and I've been open with who I'm voting for this time around, because I feel like I kind of been pushed that way. But the one thing I won't do is down talk, belittle, or pick or harm somebody for their political belief or their religion. That is their right, and they're entitled to that. And the fact that us as Americans are starting to get angry, are just angry and attacking each other for having an opinion. I feel like in today's world, if you have an opinion, you're going to be attacked. Right. It seems like we've gotten to that point where you're not allowed to have an opinion anymore. And this truck driver, all this is not okay. These are the men and women of our country that take care of us, while the other ones protect us. People need to realize that, and also drivers need to realize in this industry we're going to have unprofessionals, but to carry yourself as the most professional manner as you can today, because it's not good in today's world. Not just with that type of stuff, but companies actually go online and look at your social media on top of all this. Right. Okay, I've kind of taken this in another direction, but it's part of the way people vet even drivers. You can lose your job due to your social media. You can get hired due to your social media. You can your social media is an extension of you. So so this gentleman and his truck is an extension of him. Right. Okay, he has a right to carry that flag on that truck. Right. All right. Right. He has a right to post what he wants without being attacked. Right. All right. That's his truck. He has the right to move about freely and express himself in a freely manner, and also talk about it freely.
Right.
Right. So right.
And that's
So
okay. That
go
would
ahead,
be
baby.
the same even if he had Biden flags on there. Okay. There's absolutely no reason that anyone needs to pull a gun out on somebody and shoot them for whatever their political beliefs on. I mean, that's just crazy. But hey, I wanted to get, before we get too far into that, it was kind of a segue, and I didn't get to the comments when we were talking about that ELD, and Bill made a comment on here regarding
right. And remember, guys, I'm on location. This is not our normal setup, so things get a little tossed around. We're trying to bring you the best quality show possible.
Right. Bill Seagrave made a comment regarding with that ELD, about that basically hacking into the system. He said, "Morning, sound like they want to have some hardwired ELDs to make a monopoly on the market." And that could possibly be. I know
the trucking industry. Well, hold on. You nailed it though. It is. They're making okay. So I feel like okay, and I've been saying this for years, and I hope drivers start realizing what I'm talking about. It's the super scam of the trucking industry. Right. It's the ELD. It's the schools. It's the mills. It's the lease purchase. It's all these moving parts that keep this working, the spinning wheel of the super scam of trucking. Right. If you're not expanding within your career, you are dying within your career. Period. You're not going anywhere in this industry. If you're not pushing yourself to other areas and to other limits to where they're not controlling you, you will continue to stay right where you're at in the industry you're in. There it is. I hear that, Jake. Get it, driver. My point being is if drivers are not looking at the big picture and taking into consideration all the things that go along with certain areas of trucking, you're not going to succeed. You have to educate yourself. You have to be very, very proactive in your career. Like a friend of mine, Mike, he has actually, he's worked his way to a point to where he puts himself out on the market and he gets to write his ticket, not the companies. He gets to pick from the companies. The problem in today's industry, and I'm glad you got me lit up. And the problem in today's industry is the fact that drivers can't find good homes and good companies can't find good drivers. The problem right there is because the super scam of trucking is so big that those companies for good driver that good drivers want to go to are hard to find, and good companies trying to find good drivers are hard to find.
Right.
Sorry, I need a sticker bar. Here it comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Let me get out of this gentleman's way. Sheila, take yourself out. Take yourself out, Sheila.
Okay.
Thank you. That's just fucking awesome. Gee. All dark, big pole. See that pole? You see that pole? You see that pole right there? Get it, driver. Now that's a pro. I love it. Oh, God. Oh. Truck porn at its finest. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that to everybody. And excuse my language, Miss McPherson. Sorry about that. I believe Mike's mother's here this morning, and if she is, I really need to mind my P's and Q's, my P's and Q's, because my mother raised a good man, and I have to learn to control my mouth.
Yes, you do.
Just saying.
And I want to say thank you real quick, everyone who gave us the feedback that everything was sounding good. So thank you very much.
Thank you to that driver, Tim.
Yes.
What a great man. What a great, he gave back to the industry today. And he doesn't even realize it. Yeah. Man, that's just awesome. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he was all willing. He was all, hey, all right, you want to roll up on me? So that was really cool. Very friendly. That was awesome.
All right. Shelly Conway, if you're still, call Sheila. Shelly, call Sheila's phone. Okay, she said, who do I call? Just keep going, baby.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to reach over to grab my phone. So let me get.
Okay, go ahead and do that. But
1 second.
Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Linda, it's good to see you. Phil, Tristan, it's good to see you. Flo, it's good to see you. Flo, while I'm touching on Flo, I'd love to book you for Saturday. If you can make it Saturday, I believe you're on your 34. It might work out. It might not. Mike McPherson, Saturday, please. Whoever wants to be on the show, please reach out for Saturday. We should have. It should be a good show. A lot of people should show up again. We're going to go for probably 2 hours on Saturday, and we're going to as many drivers as possible. I just want you guys to know that there's nothing I won't do to get an interview with a driver or to get this platform where it needs to go for you drivers. I rode a bike out here this morning. The bike is I say way over there. But I rode my bike out here this morning to catch Tim. Tim showed up on time like he said he was. That was awesome. That was just awesome. But to remind you guys, Saturday night we do have a show that we it's an open forum. It's drivers. I would like to talk about this weekend. I would like to talk about drivers and finding good companies and what it takes to become the driver to write your own ticket in today's industry.
I know. So I'm looking forward to. I always love. You know how I am about the last 2 days between today, tomorrow, and then of course Saturday is always a blast. So
right.
Anyways, I'm going to continue on until Shelly gives me a little ring jingling because we were talking about shootings and that was another shooting because they are they're still looking for a driver right now. There was a driver that was shot in Memphis, Tennessee by a passenger vehicle yesterday around 11 a.m. on the I-240 between Getwell and Lamar. Shooter was driving a silver Nissan Maxima and has not been apprehended. So the trucker was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, but cops are asking for anyone's help who might have been in the area or seen anything to call Crime Stoppers at 1-901-528-CASH. So, you know, people are just crazy right now. People are just crazy right now. Okay, and it looks like we're going to...
All right, while she's pulling up Shelly Conway from Trucks Room to Spare because we do have Hurricane Delta coming in. Okay, Donna Moore, good morning. How are you? Kelly Shane Richardson, 4 hours every Saturday. You guys are smoking and you're on that shit. Excuse my language. You're on it because I am not doing a 4-hour show.
Okay.
Or will I? Okay. Good morning, Shelly Conway. How are you?
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're good. What's going on with you? Talk to us. What's going on with this hurricane? Where are you at? What are you seeing?
I appreciate y'all having me on again today.
Yeah. Well, you know, Shelly, she's having a hard time hearing you because of your distance. So basically, Shelly, we're just calling in. Obviously, it looks like we got another hurricane that's going to be slamming down on Louisiana. Is that right?
Yes, and believe it or not, they're calling for it to hit and follow the same path as Hurricane Laura.
Oh.
So everybody that has been devastated by Laura is going to get hit again.
Man, those people haven't even recovered from Laura yet, and now that we're looking at this.
They don't even have power restored yet to most areas, and the power that they have restored, they're probably going to lose.
Oh man, right.
All right, so
back to the drawing board. Everybody's scrambling, trying to secure and protect what supplies that are already there,
right,
and preparing for the aftermath.
Right. Now, I saw in the report, Shelly, that it looks like it said that it was going to be hitting early Friday morning, correct?
I heard Friday at 1.
Between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. You know, thank goodness it's going to be a daytime one.
Right. And, you know, Shelly, we always appreciate you on here because you're still basically dealing and looking for help from the aftermath of Laura, correct?
Right. We're still running supplies for relief efforts in relation to Laura and Sally.
Right.
In the Florida Panhandle, and now we've got Delta. So, and they're going to, you know, all the affected areas from both hurricanes are going to feel effects from this as well, plus further north.
Right. Right. And what's normally, so we're looking for people right now, guys. These areas are really, really in desperate need. I mean, they're going to get smacked again. and she needs help just from the last ones that hit. So if you guys could help out, please get a hold of Shelly at Trucks with Room to Spare, and help out getting those supplies
goods
that are much needed into those areas. And now we got another one coming in, and of course, Shelly. It normally takes what, Shelly, about a week or so.
Well, right now with supplies already being on location, we can start within 3 or 4 days. We can start hauling back in. They have trailers that are preloaded, so if you don't have a trailer but you can bobtail down there to help, there's trailers you can pull. To go down into the affected areas, or it doesn't matter what kind of trailer you got. I hauled ice and produce in a Conestoga. It doesn't matter your trailer. If you're a refrigerated trailer, if you can bring it, that's all the better. But we just need equipment. You can feed a community a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker bringing it down on a truck than trying to haul it in on 16-foot trailers.
Real quick, are you still working with the Cajun Navy, Shelly? Are you? What's going on there? Are you still? Who are you working with, Shelly, in this relief efforts? Sheila, ask her.
Did you hear that, Shelly?
Just ask her.
Are you? What relief efforts are you still working with? And are you still working with the Cajun Navy?
Yes, I'm still working with United Cajun Navy. We're working with Texas Louisiana Coalition. We're working with several organizations down there. We don't pick just one to work with or one or two to work with. If there's a need from an organization or a church, then we do it. Bunker Hill Trucking just hauled in a load for us into Louisiana. It was 4 pickups around the St. Louis area of supplies for different churches and other organizations going in. So we work with everybody.
Good. Yeah, because you know what? At the end of the day, during situations like this, all differences aside, get people taken care of. The heartbeat of America is also the caring heart of America at the same time. So, guys, please, if you want to feel good in your career today and want to help out, get with Shelly, get with these people, haul stuff into these areas, and be part of the relief.
Right, I agree. Shelly, we know that you're working and you're super busy. We just, we want you to be in here and, especially with all this, not only to, are you our nonprofit and we always want you to pop in and say hi. But especially now, with all of these disasters that have happened and with Delta getting ready to hit again. So we're going to let you get back on the road and be safe out there. And like I said, guys, call Shelly.
Get with Trucks with Room to Spare. It's that simple. That's simple, guys.
Shelly, you have a good day and you be safe out there.
I will, y'all too.
Okay.
Love you, Shelly. I hate hearing the desperation in her. I hate the desperation in her voice. I hate hearing that. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, please. I'm not one to ask anything of anybody, except a little interview. And I will go through any lengths. So, please, guys, be sure to check out Trucks with Room to Spare and at least share their content. All right. Early says, everyone say a little extra prayer for people of South Louisiana as a storm is about to hit. Yes. Even the people over in Texas, all within that area, guys, keep everybody within your prayers, guys, please. All right. Where are we at, Sheila? Judy says, excuse me, but good morning, Mississippi, or good morning from Mississippi, driver side.
Good morning, Mississippi.
My wife loves when you guys shout out where you're from.
I did.
All right. Kyle says it's supposed to be a Cat 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So,
I saw the same thing on there that they had anticipated originally as of yesterday. They were talking that it could go into a category 5. But right now, they kind of have to predict how it goes along. So you're correct right now that it's still category 3 and 4. So. And
I appreciate the update, Charles. Yes, we are. Okay. Unfortunately, the show or the platform is being reported as we're having issues on the driver's side, guys. As far as that goes, as far as notifications and stuff like that, we do apologize. There's nothing we can do there. As far as that goes, that's in the hands of Facebook, but we do follow the criteria as best as possible. But we are are having issues with people reporting the page. You know, I get it. Well, people are playing catch up. They're trying to keep up with the driver's side. The driver's side has set trends. We're setting trends in this industry. We're the first ones to use StreamYard, and I'm not patting ourselves on the back, but I'm proud. I am proud, and I take it as a compliment that people are starting to copy the format of the driver's side.
So what do you? We're gonna move along so I can have time to get in my Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, let's push it into Throwback Thursday, guys. Can I go ahead and lead into the video that we have?
Because we got to touch on real quick of national news.
Oh
What do you
God.
think the national news was?
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna tell it. So
Biden, Harris,
the
yeah. Oh
presidential
God.
debates were last
Oh
night.
God. You know what, Sheila? Here's
Listen, I gotta tell you.
I gotta tell you this.
Joe Biden's brain is on a vacation far away.
All right, that's all I gotta say. Done. It's done. It's a wrap. It's
Listen,
done. It's over.
there's
Cancel Christmas. No presents under the tree.
There's not
Go
really
ahead.
anything to talk about from it. It
There's
was kind of
not.
humdrum.
I
Compared
don't know,
to
but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Ah!
That's funny because I was going to say the highlight of the fly was the fly that landed on Pence's head that decided to stay there for like 10 minutes.
That fly's back in his crib, and he's being honored. He's being carried in. He's like, it's our new fly president. Yeah!
You're stupid.
As a Republican fly.
Oh, it was funny. It wasn't very
That shit was hilarious. Excuse my language, but that was hilarious. One more time. Come on.
Joe Biden's brain is on a vacation far away.
There was nothing exciting about it at all. Like I said, the highlight was the fly. So.
Are we at Throwback Thursday? Can I lead us into? Can I lead us into? There's a couple of them. There's two videos I can play here. I can either go with the Triple T or I can go with the young lady.
However, hold on a second, because out of that though, there was a quote that was in there that Pence said that you liked, and it actually was quoted as far as the news, because apparently people like it as well. Which was, he says, "You're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts."
Get it? I told you that was going to be a headline. I told you. Yeah. I told you that was his one-liner. He tried to nail it. He nailed it. He nailed it. You're entitled to your opinion, lady, but let's talk about the brass-ass facts.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was the national news. So yes,
good. I'm so tired of politics, and I'm so tired of 30 people up in here and 20 likes. Tap the button, you bastards. I was sorry to say we're going to the throwback, so it kind of throws me back to that mentality. Are we ready? Are we ready for it?
Are you ready for it?
Are you ready to throw it back?
Throw it back.
Let's throw it back. We'll be right back with Throwback.
Okay, I wasn't gonna do this, but here I am. My dad needs a little recognition for his blood, sweat, and tears on his 352 Peterbilt cabover. About 8 years ago, my dad purchased this truck from a man out in California. My dad's love for trucking began when he was 17 years old, skipping class and taking his first load to Chicago for his drunk boss. My dad gave this truck his special touch by painting it and doing the upholstery himself. Here's his first time hearing it.
What a great daughter.
Yeah.
What a great daughter. What an awesome daughter. Oh yeah, the truck is awesome, but it's just okay, look, and I'm gonna say this time, I love a pretty truck. I love a cab over, I love a truck, I love a heritage.
Yeah.
But what I like the most is the driver. Without that driver, that truck wouldn't got restored. Without that rooted passion that burns within that man, it wouldn't have got done. That's what does it for me. Okay. I mean, it's even like this. Okay. And I'm going to play another video because it's going to take us right back before speed limits and stuff. Okay. And it's one of the only truck stops left. And I don't want people to take the music that I used, because that's not really how they are anymore. But back in the day, they were out. I mean, the outlaws that they were just, they didn't have any regard for anything. We'll be right back.
If you saw a cow truck at a truck stop, you could tell the driver by the peel that he popped. Them chicken haulers used a little white cross, but cow haulers knew Black Molly was boss. We called her the West Coast turnaround, 'cause you took one of them while you couldn't lay down. They cause you scalp to hitch, make you paranoid as hell. But I can tell you right now, you can carry the mail. And if you got someplace you didn't call home, you just got out your rag and polished your chrome.
Get it. Right. There was some bad boys back in the day. But that's some old school trucking right there. That's throwing it back. I mean, seriously. But back in the day, like my wife's gonna talk about, they didn't have what did they not have, Sheila?
They didn't. Well, back in the day, there was basically, if we're talking about my throwback, there was no speed limits.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Bring it back, take it back. So are you telling me at one time in this trucking industry, drivers could grab gears and run as hard as they wanted to and fast as they wanted to?
In a lot of states, yeah, it was regulated by the states. Basically, the states regulated, and a lot of them were a lot higher than they are even now. We're getting back to them, and they were like 70 miles, 75, 80 miles an hour. But each state regulated it, and so. What happened is that basically, historically, okay, I'm going to read what I have, okay?
Please.
So, historically, prior to the national maximum speed limit, the power to set speed limits belonged to the states, with the sole exception during World War II, when a national maximum victory speed limit was 35 miles an hour,
Whoa.
Right? Yeah. To conserve gas and rubber for the war effort.
I believe that's the current speed limit in truck stops now.
Right? Now, I don't know. Some of them are like 80. Anyway.
Truck stops, honey.
Right. Okay. So some state limits, stop it. Some state limits were 75 miles an hour, while Montana and Nevada posted no speed limits on highways, limiting drivers to only whatever was safe for conditions. Okay, so no speed limits.
So there's no seatbelts either, obviously, April says. Keep going, Sheila.
Right. In November 1973, in response to the oil price spikes and supply distributions, Nixon proposes a national 50-mile-an-hour limit for cars and a 55-mile-an-hour limit for trucks and buses. Okay. Nixon thought cars perform best at 40 to 50 miles per hour, and trucks and buses perform best at 55 miles an hour. So faster. He thought that trucks and buses perform faster than four.
And they do. They do.
Right. So
I have to agree with that to this day.
So, officials hoped that gas consumption would fall by at least 2.2%, but the actual savings only ended up being between 0.5% and 1%. So even though they lowered it down to save on energy, is why they put that original, what was proposed. The 50-mile-an-hour speed limit actually didn't go through. It ended up being 55. But so even though the new proposed law was widely opposed and disregarded, states had to agree to the limit if they wanted to receive any federal funding for highway repair.
There's those bastards. Here they come. Here they come. Right. And I think every industry that has been regulated by the federal government has been chopped off at the knees. Period.
Right.
Period.
And there's a bureaucracy. So they dangle it over there, any kind of funding. So they're like, we don't care if you like it or not. What's going to happen is if you don't, you get no money.
Right. That's Washington for you.
Right. So
outside of Washington, though, baby, the comments are going nuts over there. We'll get back to it. But she's talking about speed limiters. Trucking with V says back in the day there was no GPS, no phones, there was no GPS waiting for someone to work. They had to follow them. April says no seatbelts. I rode on the doghouse when I was a little girl, which is right there in between the two seats in a cab over.
Yeah.
In the cab over, that's the doghouse. You go, that motherfucker get hot too, boy. You burn your ass. All right. No CBs, only hand signals, Sheila. You are triggering over in the comment section. Here's the one that really stood out to me the most. It's Mr. Fetzer. And if I didn't, again, Bill, you will always forever be resonated with me with that comment. Are we going to have a rant or are we going to have a show? We're going to have a show, sir. And we're going to have a show because this is the most important comment right here, I think, today. As of now, the comment of the day is going to go to Bill Fetcher. And it's just like that guy did and what that little girl did, what that young lady did, his daughter. She highlighted him. But I think Bill Fetcher wants to kind of do the same thing. It says, I am still searching for my dad's old cab over. Will I find it? I don't know, Bill. I hope you do, because I'm sure it will be a story we will all enjoy if you get the cab over. But what I would really like to do, even if you don't find it, is to get that story out. Okay, Bill, is to get the story out about that cab over and actually how it left your family. I know it might be sad, but the beautiful end of that is you wanting to find it and why. And I want to know why you want to find it, Bill. So I thought I didn't want to blow past that comment. We are trying to work this show out and dial it in as best as possible, guys. So please bear with us as we go through these growing pains, all right? Comments are 40 seconds to 30 seconds on a delay. So if we jump ahead, we do apologize. We will try to get back to your comment. But I will say this. We go over the show every day. As soon as we're done, we go over every comment, and we try to bring it to the next day if we missed it. Okay, guys? I want you to know this, that we're here for you. And I'm taking this opportunity to promote ourselves, because the one thing we do different is we're here every day for you. And I go out here. I'm actually in Salem, Oregon. That's the I-5 over there. My family has suffered from fire issues. We have suffered because of the COVID-19. But we decided to go all in with the driver's side. So, but back to the speed limiters, back to what we're talking about, back to Throwback Thursday. Feed me a Snickers, because, oh boy, am I just rambling.
Yeah, kind of. Thank you. Okay. So
sorry, you know what though? We're not taking the time out to promote ourselves, Sheila. We're not, and we have to.
Can you not do it in the middle of my story?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, anyways, the Uniform Law of 55 mile an hour was signed into law by Nixon on January 2nd, 1974, and became effective 60 days later. Yes.
That
guy. You're so silly. Congress and President Ford then made it permanent in 1975. Okay, so Ford got involved. Okay.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah, states were monitored, and those found to be non-compliant with properly enforcing the law were penalized 10% in federal highway funding. So if they didn't comply and they got found out from their tracking devices, so they got docked 10%. So, they were losing money if they didn't comply. Right. However, okay, so this is where the speeding is where this is where good old Smokey comes in, right? A lot of states found that for drivers, if they didn't comply, and by giving them all those speed tickets, was a great source of revenue for the state.
Hello, ching. How about that scale house, boys? Let's go and build one of those chicken coops.
Right.
Let's build a chicken coop.
Right.
Get it, bastards.
So,
go ahead.
Despite heavy fines and possible jail time, right, for violating the speed limit, majority of motorists violated the 55 law anyways. And we've seen, all the signs from Sammy Hagar. Remember, everyone was doing everything.
Oh, there it is. Wait, stop right there. God, Eddie Van Halen. I forgot. God rest his soul. Oh, man, we lost a legend this week. I don't consider Hagar part of Van Halen.
Right.
Just saying.
And this was all because of that oil crisis that, that was going on.
Oh.
So, see, now you got to remember, okay, that's what started the national speed limit. It was because of the oil crisis that were going on. They thought they were going to save on basically the fuel consumption, and thought that it was going to be more economical and less consumption of motorists by reducing the speed limit. There was a lot of protests on it. So by the mid to late 80s, some states began to lower punishments and challenge the law. In 87 through 95, that's when you start seeing the speed limits go back up to 65. Highways that weren't originally deemed as rural interstate highways made the necessary changes to be considered rural, just in order to get the higher speed limits on them.
Oh, look at it. Look at those lights. Look at those chicken lights. Get it, driver. Sorry.
Funny. On December 8th, 1995, Congress lifted all federal speed limit control and returned it back to the authority of the states. Several states immediately went back to their original higher limits, okay, originally, prior to the 73 and 74. 1995 introduced more speed limits of 70 to 75 miles per hour. And
Here comes the parade.
Introduced the 80 and 85 mile an hour speed limits. So, okay, here, now if we remember from last week, though, this is where the CBs came in, because during this oil crisis and when the drivers went on strike, that's how
Hey, hold on, look at all those toothpicks. You can't see it. Oh, that's a logger.
You're funny. But see,
Good.
that's how it relates with the CBs that we were talking from last week, because even though CBs were in use and they had to have license, in the 70s is when the peak of the general population and the CBs of the drivers really became popular and in use, and it was partly due to the oil crisis because of the national mandatory speed limit of 55 miles an hour. So all of the drivers who were on there trying to find, they would give each other locations of who had the most and best fuel prices, and to find out where the bears were at, and to start convoys. And when they went on strike because of the oil crisis. So, that's how that relates in. So that was my throwback part of it. So it does coincide from part one of last week with the CBs, because during that time of 75, once Ford made it completely permanent, man, everybody just went crazy. So
shut up, Mike McPherson. Here's what I want to talk about, though, Sheila. You touched on so much. I mean, you touched on so much, and the thing that sticks out to me is that speed limit, okay, and speed limiter and trucks that have speed limiters on them, okay. The one thing that has changed, we went from being restricted, okay. Now, if you're looking across the country, speed limits are going up in areas, but these big mega carriers that have these trucks that only run 62 aren't going up.
Right.
And those are becoming road hazards now. What I want to firmly say here and say with confidence is insurance companies, Department of Transportation have realized that people that drive, when they drive at higher speeds, they're safer because they pay more attention. The slower you go, the more lackadaisical you become, because you feel like, hey up, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Like here in Oregon, it takes them an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes. So the way they drive is ridiculous. All right. Point being is, the revenue streams that they created outside are with that speed limit. The revenue streams that they created in all other areas, on top of the lack of safety that was considered.
Right.
Okay, because now here we are in a world to where people, that these trucks with these speed limiters on them to save fuel is what it is.
Right.
It has nothing to do with safety. It has to do with the bottom dollar. They will put a life before saving a few cents on fuel. They're willing to kill some people for a couple extra dollars on fuel. I can't stand the fact that we have all these unsafe things, all these things that are unsafe for the trucking industry, let alone the general public, and nothing. It's become a revenue stream, and it's become about money, not safety.
Right. Well, and like I said in there, that Nixon actually, he was trying to propose that the regular passenger vehicles, you're so silly, the passenger vehicles go slower than the semi trucks and the buses. He proposed it the other way, that they should go faster and that the passenger vehicles go slower because
why is that, Sheila? Do you know why that is?
What?
Why they did it? Why they be with buses and trucks first? Okay, so here's what happens in this world that we live in, this country that we live in. They test everything. They go to the trucking industry first. It's the backbone of America. It's the heartbeat of America. Like brake assist, lane assist, cruise control assist, all that. That's been in the trucking industry for over a decade, I want to say. It's just now coming to the car industry. You see what I'm getting at there? Right. They use buses, trucks, those men and women that are the heartbeat of America as a trial testing guinea pig.
Right. Sorry, I was over there, and I agree with
Okay.
you.
All right,
I mean,
I'll go to Keith Becker. I'll go to a comment. Let's go to Keith Becker. Keith Becker says, please not a mega driver, but governed at 65. Hell, Swift, Warner, U.S. Express, all pass me. It sucks how the insurance industry rules how these companies set up their speed limiters. And it's also fuel. There's a few things that are a factor here. Okay. Right. We're all not going to be right. We can sit here, we pull this fact, pull that fact. At the end of the day, speed limiter trucks are absolutely dangerous and not good for the trucking industry.
Right. Well, and I don't think so either, because they're not keeping up with the flow of traffic. You know, I don't understand that if they're governed at a certain speed and all these speed limits are going up,
they're impeding traffic.
Huh?
They're impeding traffic.
Right. So I don't understand. John Free says on here, I do not understand this dual speed limit and why the insurance companies are behind it, because as we know, 82% of the accidents between a truck and a car are by a back four-wheeler. Yeah.
Well, I think, and I'm going to go with that a little bit there. It's because of money. It's revenue. It's created revenue streams. You know, if you go over 55, they're going to write you a ticket and your fucking premiums go through the roof. Let alone, I don't understand it in a whole. Okay. And I don't think they want us to understand it. They want us to continue to be upset, pissed off, regulated, and chasing our tails, because that makes no sense.
But they should be doing the flow of the flow of traffic. If the flow of traffic is doing 70 and 75, then they should be doing 70 and 75.
They should be at least able to. The driver should be determined. The truck driver should determine his safe speed, right? His or her safe speed, not a limiter. Period.
I agree.
It makes no sense that's where I'm at. I mean, it bothers me because I go back to the super scam of trucking. Bob Cook is calling it. Still live, Bob. But we're you know, what was I saying?
You're going back to
the super scam of trucking. Okay, the super scam of trucking. And I go back to that little black box that sits in your truck. Okay, let alone the speed limiter. You got this box that sits in your truck and it maps everything you do. It tells on you. It just sits there and it collects data all day long. Hard brake, light brake, over accelerated, decel, all that. Scratch the gear, shifted wrong, whatever. It tells. It reads everything you do. I think what they've done, here's what I get from it, is they've taken that little black box over decades of over decade after decade, has collected information and mapped out the driver, and it's taken all the good habits and bad habits, and it's created a brain for a truck that's coming to this industry. Okay, that black box, speed limiters, everything that these drivers are strangled with is the problem.
It is, and I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I think that if the states the states have control back of their speed limits themselves again, and I think that whatever gets posted up there should apply to everybody. Those trucks need to be able to do the same speed as everybody else and keep that flow moving.
Or the speed that their driver determines is safe.
Right, because there's conditions. I agree with you. Right, there's reasons why they would.
Because then we go back to training.
Right, correct. I agree with you on that. So, anyways, I wanted to get back up into a comment up here that.
While you're looking for that one, I'll go to this one. Mike McPherson says companies do it to save money. If they show that truck is down, their premium is lower. Right. And they also, if they put cameras in their truck, rear view, face view, all that crap. All right. It's dictatorship through insurance companies. They also determine on who's going to be a truck driver out on the road. You know, who's going to sit in that seat. It's ridiculous. The driver, and that's why I can't wait for Saturday's show, because I really want to talk on Saturday's show. I really want to touch with Mike and all them on You know, you got all these drivers out here that are qualified drivers, but you don't have qualified companies. You got small amount of qualified drivers and a small amount of qualified companies to take these drivers. That's where it pisses me off, because I'll say it time and time again. If this is allowed in the industry, then you have issues. Period. That should not be allowed. That's recruiting? What the hell? Are recruiting for trucking or cheer team? Which one? That's for you, Mike. We're at the top of the hour, too, by the way, guys.
I know. I'll get to this one here because Bill Fetzer.
So real quick, let's do Bill Fetzer. I'll catch a last comment coming in, guys. We're going to cut it off. This is the top of the hour. This is where we have to say goodbye.
Yes. Bill Fetzer says these companies want to save fuel, then compensate your drivers to do so. I used to work for a company that would give you up to 4 cents for saving fuel. Right.
Well, now you got companies that put fuel incentives in front of you that are unreachable. They put safety bonuses in front of you that are unreachable. Why? Because they control that black box in your truck with these big carriers, most cases. All right? So they will violate you one way, shape, or form to disqualify you from your bonus. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. Excuse my language, but I'm pissed off. We're going to go to these last couple comments. All right, Mike McPherson is going to be the last read of today, but I'm going to go back up to Bob Cook. The speed limit, that's all I want to do. The speed limit, what is 75? I want to do 70. Right, but Bob it runs his truck the way Bob wants to run his truck. The way Bob feels is safe, because Bob is a professional. All right. Linda McPherson, hell no to cameras. Good morning. Linda, thank you for joining us. If you are who I think you are, Mike, thank you. To the McPhersons, thank you, because that means the world to me. My mother was my best friend. So Flo says, didn't Texas tell JB Hunt to raise their speed up in the day or back in the day, or was that just a story? Not sure. Judy says 100%. When I met my ex in the 80s, his company charged him what he was paid a mile, 19 cents from Mississippi to Fargo, via Virginia to California, because of that tattletale. Mike, and here we go. Real quick, Gary, good morning. Good to see you. Glad you're good. Becky, thank you. Yes, she is my mother. Mike McPherson says, thank you, Mike. It means the world to me. It means the world to me. I miss my mother dearly, dearly. My mother was my best friend. But I have a beautiful wife to pamper me like that today. And I know that's weird. It's not weird. That's my best friend over there. Is what I'm trying to say. I thank my wife for a great show today. I thank all of you guys for showing up. And I'm going to read this last comment, and we're going to close it out. Remember, we got to feel good. We will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Also, Saturday night, as of now, at 5 Pacific Standard Time. And you guys keep playing catch up, drivers. Please keep playing catch up with this. This is how you do it. You go out into the field and you meet drivers that you don't even know. Step out of your circle, step out of your comfort zone, and do something kind today for somebody. Mike McPherson, thank you for showing up with the last comment from Mike McPherson says, but let's be honest. Do we want these drivers that have 3 weeks experience driving a truck over 65? They have no clue how to handle that truck. You add speed to the issue, they aren't getting trained. And with that being said, training in today's trucking industry is at an all-time low. And I think that's where the fight begins, and that's where it starts, is with training. What I want to say is thank you to my wife, because the things that she touches on and that she's researching are things that need to be brought to the surface and talked about in today's industry. Today's industry is hurting more and more than ever today. I could say so many things here, but I gotta get out. What I'm trying to say, guys, is you are the heartbeat of America. You should be treated like the heartbeat of America. I'm going to go eat a Snickers, and I'm going to turn it over to the wife for the feel good of the day. And I'm done. And to make money in the trucking industry, what do you have to do, Sheila?
You got to keep your left door closed, you guys. Everyone, all right. We have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow for Friday's Free Flow Feel Good Friday, where we finally get some positive news within the trucking industry.
Hold the break. Free flow means we have no structure. There's a structure, but there's no topic. It's up to you guys to participate. We can send you a link. They'll be it out tomorrow. I'll do it live today at some point, I guess. I don't know. What? But I screwed that up. I'm sorry, honey. Remember, guys, with 100 in America, you should be treated that way. Always keep that sunny side up, rubber side down, and to make money in today's trucking industry, you got to do what, honey?
Keep that left door closed.
Stay tuned for your feel-good pity. Have a great day, everybody. Honey, I love you.
Love you too. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends, jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the truth.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Throw your